We truly live in exciting times where we're able to swap out, change triggers to more premium triggers that conform and fit better to our fingers, which in turn allows better accuracy, man. Let's get into the HiperFire PDI GS single stage trigger. Here it is right here. And this is the package that it comes in, okay? Nothing super exciting about the package, but it's packaged well. Just to let you all know, if you're a patriot or anything like that, it is a veteran owned and operated, in America here. So it's made in the USA. And this company truly does take pride in that, which is a really good thing. I work well with these guys. They've sent over triggers to me before, and they are just amazing, amazing triggers. So I continue to put these inside my rifles. I truly love them, y'all. So that's it. Let's look at the back of it right here. That's what it looks like right there. Some information down at the bottom, okay? And we're gonna go into the full detail on this trigger. And we're also gonna go ahead, we're gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get it installed at one of my favorite gun stores here in Nashville. And then we're gonna get it out to the range and see what it can do. So here's the trigger right here. Let's take this out, set that right there. And it's a little baggy right here. And it looks like this little baggy does have some extra screws and some tools in there that you'll most likely need, okay? That's it right there. It's in my weed bag. Yeah, boy, no, I'm just playing. All right, that's it right there. Set that aside. Okay. And here's the trigger right here. And not only, watch this, not only do you get the trigger, they also sent over some dope ass stickers, man. And these will be going on the ammo cabinet right here. So that's the first sticker. Check that out. Pretty damn cool. That's the back of it. It's one of them. They sent a lot of them. It's another HiperFire trigger. Super sweet. It's the back of it. And then it's another one right here. And that's what you get. And that's the back of it right there. So, of course, this is going on my ammo cabinet. All right, that's the trigger. Now, we're going to start off by just admiring the, craftsmanship and the build structure of this trigger right here. Man, HiperFire does it with premium quality materials. And I'm going to come a little bit closer just so you can see it. You can see the texturing in it. It has a little H right there. This part right here, it has a very particular, feel to it. And it's like a matte color. And very, very different. And then, of course, it's in the gold. Now, when you look at the gold online, the gold is going to look like it's a different color. That's something that I noticed. So this, what you're looking at right now, is the true color, okay? It seems like it's a little bit brighter of a color online when you look online, but this is the true color of the trigger. I put a lot of lighting around here so you guys can see that. Okay? Now, this is a pretty simple and easy trigger to install. This is a power drop-in trigger. So if you don't know how to install anything like this, get with your gunsmith in your area, and I'm sure they'll be able to do it at low cost. If you build a relationship with them, they might be able to do it for free, but these are pretty easy to install. The trigger material is an 8620 steel. So as I said before, they knocked it out the park with that, seriously. And look at that. I'll come even closer so you can, look at it. But that's it. Very, very high level steel right there for you. So that way you won't get any type of cracks, fractures, or anything like that in the steel. So very, very high quality steel. Moving right along here, this does have a 2-pound trigger. And as I said before, it is a single stage trigger. So 2-pound trigger means when you pull that damn thing, it's going to go off. And I'm going to put this in my Gideon blaster. So I have a rifle that I will be doing a review on my channel. It'll also be featured in a lot of other videos, but 2 pounds, I think that's perfect for what I'm trying to pull off here. Now, let's go ahead and weigh the trigger. A lot of times you see reviews And the guys don't weigh the trigger. I think that's very important, especially if you're trying to create a build and keep it more lightweight, or if you just don't care how much it weighs. It's important to know. So let's go ahead and put it on the scale. All right, so the scale is set to 0 now. Oh, wait a minute, let me go ahead and turn it on. There it is. So the scale is set it to 0. It's set to 0 right now in ounces. And we're gonna throw this bad boy on there. This does have a little bit of weight to it, but I like that. It has a solid form factor. So let's go ahead and put it on. And right now it's coming in at 2.3 ounces, as you can see right there. 2.3 ounces. Also, this is a mill grade hammer strike, no LPS ever. So keep that in mind, no LPS ever with this trigger. The makeup of this trigger, you're looking at a titanium nitride and H&M black nitride finishes on this trigger. So that is pretty damn cool. Something else about this trigger right here is that it also has enhanced corrosion protection, and that's important. Therefore, you won't get that rust and things like that, or you know, over a long extended period of time, it'll be able to hold up against the climate, especially if you're outside running drills a whole lot. It should most definitely be able to stand up to that. This trigger also has a lot of protections like, you know, hammer, collision bumper, disconnector crash protection, and disconnector spring crush protection. Now, one of the main features of this trigger right here is this finger pad, which is really, really cool, because you're able to adjust this finger pad vertically up and down. And you can see the little notches right there, which are different levels where you can set it to, you know, of your liking. So all you have to do is just set it, move it up and down, and it makes it extremely, extremely comfortable while you're shooting. And, you know, what's going to happen is when you set this in different areas up or down, it will affect the poundage, okay, with your trigger. So keep that in mind. Again, you can change the trigger lever length for fine weight adjustment, and it also changes the trigger lever length to further adjust pre-travel. And of course, I already mentioned that. Lastly here, we're going to talk about the warranty. And I know you all like to hear about the warranty. That's very important about products, especially products you may not know about, okay? HiperFire enhanced duty triggers are warranted against original defects in materials and workmanship for the life of the product. Now that's pretty cool. This warranty applies to the original purchaser and is not transferable. To be eligible for the warranty, the product must not be modified. HiperFire will, okay? HiperFire will replace defective products subject to availability and provides instructions for submitting a warranty claim on their website. So keep that in mind, very important. All right, so I'm geeked up, man. I am geeked up about getting this into my rifle. Of course, I have one in my other rifle already. It will be calibered in 223-556. Again, it's called the Gideon Blaster. So let's get out there to one of my favorite gun stores and get it installed. Oh boy.
Ivan!
Yeah. How you doing today?
I'm always good. How you been?
Good to see you, Blaze.
Good to see you.
All right, wait a minute. We got this guy right here.
What's happening, Ivan? How you doing, man?
Good.
Good to see you guys.
How you doing,
today.
brother?
I'm good, man.
Good to see you. What's going on, man?
Good to see you.
You don't look busy today, sir.
Not today. Taking a minute.
All right, y'all see the doggy dog down there.
Gracie!
We have more people down there. Say hello to YouTube. Hello. Yeah, they're in the house
Matt,
for sure.
Say hello.
Hello.
What's going on? We see you back there.
Fingerprints.
This is like Cheers, y'all. I swear. If I don't know, if you're young, you don't know what Cheers is, so that just showed my age.
Yeah, that's
Norm.
All right, Blaze. I have a project for you.
yes. What you
We're
got?
going to be putting in a trigger today. It will be the HiperFire trigger right here. Drop in, right?
This is a cassette style trigger, so it's not that two-piece. Yes, it's going to drop right in. Excellent gold. I like it. Let's
Awesome.
get going in there.
All right, here we go. We're about to see how this works out.
Perfect.
That's the rifle right there. We have
So,
the
go ahead.
yep, make
Safety.
sure it's empty.
You know, all those internet warriors will be upset if we don't do that.
They'll go crazy.
Go ahead and set that up here.
Uppers right there.
So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove that safety. In order to remove the safety, we do have to remove that pistol grip.
It's coming out. These HiperFire triggers, what do you think about them, Blaze?
Oh, they're excellent triggers. There's a bunch of companies right now that just have made them standard.
Okay.
They are really known for getting the lightweight that everybody enjoys, but also getting that full power hammer spring, so that way you don't have any of those light primer strikes that are often associated with those lighter trigger presses.
Nice. Do you all sell those here too? Can they, like if they come into Nashville, can they pick them up here?
Absolutely. We have them in our jigs. They can test them out. So it is full power. Excellent.
That's
you can
it.
go through all of our trigger jigs here. Try out the ones that you like.
We'll see you next time.
And this is what he's talking about right here. Pretty cool setup. All right.
So now we're going to knock our 2 trigger pins out that hold the trigger in place. We'll start with the front one.
Now I got another question for you, Blaze.
Go for it.
Do you suggest, like when people buy parts like this, as far as the legal aspect of things, do you suggest that they bring them to a gunsmith to get installed instead of trying to do it themselves?
Absolutely, and that's just for their own safety. I know everybody's going to have their own kind of, anyone can do it, but if that were the case, then we'd all still be changing our own oil, but I've seen, you know, people can't do that anymore. So with that being said, if you don't know what you're doing, I highly suggest just take it to a gunsmith, make sure it's done right the first time, because then you're putting all that liability on someone else rather than yourself.
Exactly.
And if anything goes wrong, you're not going to hurt yourself for having done something stupid, because then there's a Darwin Award that you get, and that's just never fun.
Perfect.
Excellent. Now that we have removed our trigger group from this portion, we are going to open up our package and get our new one.
There we go. HiperFire triggers, I appreciate you guys sending this out to the channel. You've sent multiple triggers, and I highly, highly appreciate it, seriously.
Don't forget your HiperFire swag.
Going on the ammo case. Where Fry at?
Fry literally left today for
Did he
vacation.
fry away?
Did
he fry away?
You don't want to overfill your pan when you're putting them in. You want to leave plenty of room for them to fry.
He is on vacation.
Did he fry away? Oh, he gonna hate me for that one. You know he gonna get me back too when you watch the video.
All right. So this is our Gold Edition HiperFire trigger. What you'll notice here, they do have that flat trigger, but they have that unique shoe here, and what this adjustable shoe allows you to do is be able to index that trigger finger placement. You can set it as low as possible, which will allow you to take advantage of the full fulcrum point, giving you the lightest trigger press.
Right.
Or you can move it up a little bit higher. Now the give and take of that is the lower it is, the lighter the trigger press, but the more your finger is going to travel, the greater the distance. The higher up you go, the shorter your finger travels, but the heavier it's going to feel. So find your balance, find what you like. Either way, here we go.
Perfect.
We're going to remove that shoe here so we can drop this in. Once we have it in, we're going to line up those trigger pin holes.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm gonna adjust it based off of my other rifle where I have that finger pad and just set it in the, you know, same position.
We will drop in their included K&S pins, so unlike the standard trigger bar or the trigger pins, these have screws on either end that will prevent the trigger from walking out on you, or those pins as you're firing.
Wow.
So just like that. They provide us with a few Allen keys here. I'll just get this balanced. 2 screws, one each side, in the front and the back.
So as far as repairs, like how far do you guys go here at the gun bar? Like what's the extent, right? What's the extent of repair?
Absolutely. So there is not a lot we cannot do. A lot of it will depend on whether or not something is entirely damaged beyond its service life, irreparable, whether it is an older firearm. Sometimes the limitations will be we can make it back to, especially with the older guns, something that looks pretty, but you would definitely not want to shoot it unsafe.
Okay.
Due to the wear and tear and the age of the parts. On a lot of the newer stuff, we can either fix it or we have an excellent relationship with a lot of the companies, and so we can handle some of those warranty claims and service repairs.
Okay. Do you guys accept any ship-ins? So like say for instance somebody watches the video, right? They're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they need a repair done. So would they be able to ship certain things in to get it repaired and pay that way, or?
Absolutely. So as long as it's not a regulated item, so nothing that has a serial number on it, they're more than welcome to just ship it right to us. If it does have a serial number on there, then of course we'll have to make sure that's done through the proper FFL pipeline, and we can take care of all of that. Certainly give us a call, make sure we know it's coming. That's always, a plus. We have had people just surprise us with random stuff. They include nothing in the package, so we have no idea who it came from, what it's here for. Then it becomes a whole Nancy Drew situation.
Got it. Okay.
Excellent. So we have that trigger set in there.
Look at that.
All right, now we will go ahead and make sure that we install our safety back in there.
Okay. Isn't that the daughter of the shop that was sitting over there?
Oh, yeah, that's Miss Shelby. That is the owner's daughter there.
Yes, that's what I thought. Is it pretty tedious process, or you feel
every
like
trigger's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Trying to sort out how to get those pieces in there. The receivers sometimes give us a little bit of problems.
Now, is that the kind, Blaze, where you can set the poundage? I think it's automatically set 2 pounds or 2.5. It's something like that.
They usually
I don't think that's the one with the springs. My other one has like springs, different springs you could put in the inside.
Yes, so typically if you're going to be able to adjust that poundage, most people will be kind of familiar with the Geisley system where you just replace that.
Yeah.
Replace that hammer spring with one you like, or a lot of them like Geisley will have a couple of these different springs right here for the different weights of that trigger press.
Okay.
So
what would you say the most common repair is in the shop? Will people come in and you're just constantly fixing stuff?
Repair?
Yeah.
Or just
maintenance, repair?
I would say there's fewer repairs per se, but there's definitely a lot of upgrades, and I would call it a repair. So what happens is people will buy these very cheap budget builds, which is perfectly fine, and then they'll come in.
Ivan?
I wasn't going to throw any names out there. I was going to let your audience figure it out. Here we are. What they'll do is they will begin to replace certain things that they feel are failing or just not adequate right out the gate. We had someone come in and they had bought a more budget-friendly AR that came with a very unacceptable rail system for them, and so that was the first thing they did was replace the rail.
Yeah.
Then, of course, it's the charging handle, then the triggers.
Now, I'm going to tell you something that's real tricky about taking that grip off is the spring, that small spring. What would you suggest to the people that if they tried to do that? Because when I first did it, that thing popped all the way out and I almost lost it. So
the the old G.I. Joe saying, knowledge is power. So the spring is in there, and I'll go ahead and kind of break it down for you one more time. once we,
It's a little bitty spring, guys. This is like the main thing of this right here. Not the main thing, but one of the more important things.
so once we remove the screw or whatever bolt that is holding your grip in place, there's going to be a spring that pushes on a detent into the safety. That's what gives you that tactile clicking. So I usually just rock that back and forth, and then once I get it fairly close to the top, that spring's going to come out. You know it's going to come out, so just hold on to it. A lot of people will hold on to that spring and they'll be good to go. It sits down inside that little retainer hole in the grip, and then they'll just go about their work, and then pretty soon they've lost the pin because they forget about the pin that's actually inside that holds onto the safety. Disregard my gunsmith hands there.
Okay.
So what we're going to do to repair or replace that is we'll take that, good, if I could hold on to it
jumping
now.
around.
First time is good to go. So needle side down, we're just going to drop that into that hole, and then I just kind of place my thumb so that spring doesn't go anywhere. I get the grip started. Biggest thing you want to do is make sure, of course, that you don't slam this down with that
because it'll bend that spring.
Exactly, not in the right spot.
Yeah.
So now that that spring is inside that hole, it's already started, I can push it on down. No binding, no messing with the spring.
What we're eating for lunch today?
Yeah, we did.
What did y'all eat?
We went to Oscar's.
Oh, I heard they're real good too.
Amazing.
It's really good.
Have a good day, sir.
We put that down to the blaze torque. Not too tight, not too loose. We throw our plug back in. Then we go ahead.
Trigger pull time.
Reassemble.
Ooh, wait.
We take a moment to admire the aesthetic beauty that is this HiperFire trigger in here. And then, if you will Patrick Swayze me here, go ahead and ghost this together.
That's it. That's the blaze test. Just blaze.
And there you are.
All right, man. I appreciate that, Blaze. Look at that. HiperFire trigger. And you will see, like I said, you will see more footage on the channel with this rifle. We're going to be doing more reviews, like I said, with the Gideon build, the Gideon products that they sent over. And also we'll do the HiperFire trigger, which is right there. Pretty cool stuff. I like it. All right. And as far as like the HiperFire triggers that you have, what would you say would be like the set standard, what a person would usually buy? Like, I guess a specific model that one would come in for, or if a person is quite confused about what trigger they may want to go with, or any other trigger in the shop here that you may want to suggest to
what is very
people.
popular?
Yes.
I'll throw out what's popular because there's really no best, and that's where a lot of people get mixed up.
Roger that.
Is they'll listen to what someone else's preference is, and then they'll mistake preference for actual quality. There are, of course, some bad ones out there, ones that you'd want to stay away from. We have the HiperFire triggers, Geisley, well-known brand. I will say that the Rise Armament
You want to go
line,
ahead and go through some of you guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So, you know all about the HiperFire triggers like we just installed. We have a few of the different Rise Armament triggers. Those are very popular. I mean, we have a ton of those. Geisley is an absolute beast in the industry. They have all of their flat-faced and curved triggers here. And then we also have some CMC triggers down here, some of those cassette style triggers as well, and maybe some others down here in the back. We have all kinds of goodies. So
That's the dead body drawer, guys.
The dead body drawer. And then, of course, if you want to get really fun with it, we do have some of the Fostech binary triggers as well as...
I like that now.
Yeah. As well as some of those forced reset triggers.
Do you guys sell super safeties? or Atrius, because you know that's something that's real hot right now, Blaze.
Oh yeah. We don't have any of the super safeties here. If you get them, we will install them, but we don't currently have them on the shelf.
Okay. Yeah. Have you been getting a demand for them lately?
A lot of interest in the idea of them, but we've not even had a lot of people kind of go out and get it on their own yet and bring it in and have us install it. So I think it's still catching on. They're still trying to figure out, honestly, whether or not they want the super safety, because that is a departure from our traditional throw. That's your kind of push bar, or do they want to wait for the forced reset, which of course is tied up in litigation. So that's where that is. Now that they are free to move about, I think that they're going to slam this market here shortly.
That's perfect. All right, Blaze. Well, I really appreciate all your help, brother. You've been awesome, always awesome. I'm going to go ahead and give some trigger pulls on these triggers real quick, just so you can see. And make sure you come down to High Caliber and Weaponry. I'm going to take you around real quick. We'll look at just some of the stuff here. But first, since this is all about triggers, let's look at this real quick. So this one right here is the HiperFire. Am I doing this right?
Yep. So, like I said,
or is it already set?
They are going to have their dual power springs here, which is going to hit even harder than your traditional springs. So you're going to get that absolute slam on that firing pin. There's no light strikes here.
Oh, see, that's what you're looking at on HiperFire. Okay, let's do that next one.
So this is a classic Rise armament. No real take up.
Nice.
Super light. This is their iconic trigger. So this is their version of a two-stage trigger. That one is a hot seller. So you have your first initial stage for your precision shots, but you can just come right in and get after it as well. We have a couple of the Rise triggers very similar to the first one we had. Then we go into our Geisley triggers. So we have our flat face trigger. We have the traditional curved, and these are going to be both single stage, two stage, depending on which one it is, whether it's the super dynamic 3-gun, the SSEs, etc. So we have a full line of all these different brands.
All right. Again, thank you so much.
Hey,
we'll see you, Blaze.
Have a good night.